People are not keeping their clothes as long. They're cycling through their clothing much quicker, and all of that stuff has to go somewhere.
The Salvation Army Sorting Centre in Oakville, Ontario, takes in more than 90 tons of discarded clothing a week. Some is shredded and recycled into other products. Some is shipped overseas, an attempt to keep it away from landfill. Fast fashion can mean a faster flow of trash. We buy cheap, we buy more, we throw more away. Canadians, on average, buy 70 new articles of clothing a year. That contributes to the 12 million tons a year of textile waste dumped into North America's landfills. Now, some retailers have launched sustainability campaigns, set up in-store bins for recycling old clothes. It might be a matter of good intentions, it might be a matter of good marketing, but CBC's Marketplace's Chelsea Agro tells us so far it is no solution to the endless onslaught of throwaway clothes.
It is a stunning scene a world away. Mountains of clothes so high you have to climb over them. This is a used clothing market in Nairobi, Kenya, with a distinctly North American flair. Many of the names and brands you know, but here they're called Matumba.
Oh, no, that one, it's just a nickname. We gave it. Matumba means old in our culture.
Bale after bale of used clothes, and it seems we've got plenty to give. In 2016, Canada sold off more than $160 million of our unwanted clothes around the world. Kenya was our biggest customer.
The black stripes. The black stripes here are from Canada. These are a variety of kids' clothing. This one is a jacket, ladies' t-shirts.
Mayina Andrew is a used clothing importer. He sells the bales he brings in to vendors, like Alice.
The way we open bales, we know the plants where there is new clothes, especially those which come from Canada.
So how do your clothes get from Canada to a market 13,000 kilometers away? For a growing amount of it, the journey begins here, at an in-store donation bin. Donation bins like these are popping up in more and more stores, and they make bold statements. Close the loop. Give clothes and shoes a new life. Creating the new.
Let's shred it into fibers and stitch it into something new. Let's cut your jeans into pieces and make new jeans out of them.
What's in store for your old clothes made even clearer in colorful campaigns from one of the biggest names in the fashion business, H&M.
We literally turn your old clothes into new garments.
Not so fast or simple, says author and environmental advocate Elizabeth Klein.
The reality is that currently only about 1% of clothing is actually recycled in the very literal sense of the word.
1%.
1%.
1% is recycled.
If you're talking about recycling in terms of taking fibers and breaking them down and turning them back into new fibers, it's 1%.
Why is it so hard to just take my old shirt and turn it into a new one? Why can't you just do that?
A lot of our clothes are made out of blended fibers, so you know, maybe this is acrylic and wool and cotton mixed together. Maybe my tights are cotton and elastane. That makes it very difficult to recycle. The other challenge is that when you recycle cotton and wool, it diminishes the quality of that material. So it weakens the cotton and wool strand and gives you a lesser product.
H&M's own sustainability reports confirm, of all the material that goes into making its millions of garments every year, only 0.7% is recycled material. So if your old clothes are hardly getting made into new ones, what is happening when you put them in those bins? For starters, like most clothing donations, they are sold and sorted by a middleman into hundreds of different categories, some turned into rags, carpet padding, or insulation. But the majority, the reusable, re-wearable items, are baled up and shipped off to more than 90 different countries. Their final destination, that used clothing market and others like it, where vendors pay for them.
Sometimes they pack even very old items. They can even pack items that are not even good, and they end up dumping them in Africa or in Kenya.
Clothes Canadians and others see as cast-offs, too worn or tattered to sell, are often dumped and burned.
We just dump them. Yeah, we burn them. And it is a loss to us because we have already bought them.
Scenes that clearly didn't make the cut in H&M's colorful ads.
It really is a form of greenwashing.
Claudia Marseilles runs Markham, Ontario's waste programs, one of only 2 cities in Canada where it is against the law to put textiles in the trash. She believes fast fashion is a big part of the problem.
Their business model is the problem. They're making too much, they're selling it too cheap, it's disposable clothing. Doing a bit of back-end recycling and a bit of commercials really doesn't address that issue.
H&M declined multiple requests to speak to us on camera about its sustainability program, but did say it does not want to encourage a throwaway attitude. They also say their focus is on delivering clothes that are high in quality and made to last. H&M is one of the biggest users of recycled cotton and polyester, but the company says it sees the need for a change in the global textile industry. When we tell them about those clothes burning in Kenyan landfills, they say the company handling pickup and distribution of their bins has really high standards. But they are still working on building a better tracking system so this doesn't keep happening.
Dumping is always cheaper. It's always the cheaper option.
That's why Marseilles suggests swapping clothes with friends or family, anything that will keep them from landfill. And if you do decide to donate,
do your research on who you're giving your clothing to.
But she says the simplest solution to a very complex problem, don't buy so much. Charles Ciagro, CBC News, Toronto.